Welcome back to the channel. We're at it again. We're going to work on this turbo today with the door shut. 5 days after the first day of spring and the door is closed. It's not cool. But anyways, so we're back on the Camaro. Just flip you around here. So we have got the radiator mounts done, or the upper mounts. I just used let's see if I can get a better picture of it. Here we go. So I had a piece of straight aluminum and I put a little bend in it with the bender and welded on some tabs, and then used the baseboard that you'd have at like a school or a business or whatever, that rubber stuff, and heated it up and it molded perfectly. So it's holding on to there, and then we welded on a little plate right there so we could bolt it down. So that worked pretty good, nice and solid, not going nowhere. And we got our, I don't know if I showed you this or not, we got the hood pins installed, and they are adjustable, so you can loosen this nut and adjust it up and down. This is just kind of a snubber to keep the hood tight so it doesn't rattle around. Got the other radiator mount there. And we got our transmission cooler all mounted. It's just some 3/8 chromoly. Put a couple bends in it. Worked really well. I just used a regular tubing bender, like what a pipe fitter would use. And you can kind of see put a little bit of a bend right there. That sucker is close, so the fan should pull right through that. So we got a mounting spot there, and then a mounting spot right there. Another one right there. So if we need to, we could take it loose, take it off. If we have to service anything. So that's all looking good. So now we get to work on our turbo placement. Turbo is going to go in this area here. Probably have some kind of a little spout just coming right up to it. Here's my on-off button. Well, go see if this will work. Make the edges nice and smooth. This might work out pretty darn good. So this is going to go on the V-band on the turbine of the turbo. It's like a 3.5, and coming out of the hooker manifold is a 3-inch. Well, it's kind of a little bit bigger than a 3-inch, so I'm gonna have to flare this out somehow. But I think this is gonna work out pretty darn good. Looks nice. Give it a couple of little tacks, and then tack it to a V-band, and see how she looks. And for anybody who's curious, this is my Milwaukee bandsaw holder. Seen a bunch of people that made these online. I was like, hey, I can make that. It's really simple. It's just a plate, and I got some 1-inch tubing, and I clamp the tubing in my vise, and everything fits perfect. You got one little 13mm holding the whole thing on there. You just make your slit right there with your cutter, with your saw. I showed you before. My on-off right there. Works pretty good. Right, got some shiny stainless parts here. Here's our V-band. Goes onto the turbine. It's the inlet. Here's our little 3.5 to 3-inch adapter. and then our little elbow we just cut. So we're going to tack all that pretty stuff together and then see how it looks. Okay, we got some really light tacks. Just fuse these together. My fitment wasn't too good over here for some stupid reason, so I had to use a little filler rod, but that's good enough just to try on the car. This thing's just not sitting like I want it to. Still close to the radiator fan. So I think we're gonna have to come up, put it up here somewhere, because we want to come out through here. I'm gonna put like a teardrop look here, or maybe a little lower. So definitely need to come from here to there. I'm gonna take this out, make some room. Maybe put a hole in here for the exhaust. But that's why we're kind of making sure we get that in the right spot. We definitely gained room by making our own fan shroud. We got all kinds of room in between the water manifold and the compressor. So I think we'll have to go a little bit higher, make a different bend, or not make one, but cut one for this. Back to the drawing board. Cut another little elbow. This one looks like it's gonna be the ticket. I tried it over there and it looks pretty darn good. It raises the turbo up just a little bit, but it's not going to be a big deal because it brings it away from that radiator, and I like that. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna throw some tacks on this thing. Right. Then later, we got that. Throw the old Motion Raceworks on there. That'll look pretty sick. It like fits perfectly on that elbow. It's crazy how perfectly that fits. There's like barely any gap anywhere. Look at that. Right where I want to be. We got the turbo guard for this, so that ain't gonna be nothing. Our turbo blanket. That thing looks good. Nice curve. Compressor's not hitting the manifold, water manifold. It's got plenty of room between the radiator. That's got room. And that's still got room to come out into the fender. I like it. Then we'll have the Motion Raceworks flange right here for the wastegate. It'll just dump right down to the ground. I like it. What's that look like up here? Not bad. We got room. Oh yeah, we're way underneath the hood line. Coming together. Are you working? So here's a flange that comes off the hooker manifold, turbo manifold. There's no step on it, but it goes around there, but as you can tell, there's a little bit of a gap right there and not right there. Basically, when you bend something in the mandrel bend, you still kind of get egg shaped a little bit. So we got this. It's just a centering cone for a balancer. Like it balances wheels and tires. Just goes in the center of the wheel to center it. And I made that to fit in the middle of here. And then we're going to get the air hammer. Put that set up in here. And try to air hammer this. And see if that'll make it round again. Just to get a little bit better fit up. I have no idea if this is going to work. No idea whatsoever. About to find out though. Worked. No, it didn't. Just shoved it in there and then popped right back out. Stinking thing. Get you again. Doing a little bit of work. The gap's a little bit smaller. Not by much though. Well, I got it round. I didn't really get it flared out like I was wanting to, but this stainless is some tough stuff. But it fits in here nicer now. I can just give it a little bit of a tilt and it should be pretty tight. We'll put some tacks on it and put it on the car and see what it looks like. Oh my goodness. Just got some tacks on it, but it's holding up the whole turbo. That thing looks sick. Still got room between the water manifold and the compressor. Even got a little bit more room between the radiator and the turbine housing. Sits nice and straight. I like that. I like that a lot. Would you look at it? All right. I'm gonna burn that baby together. All right, we'll talk about some of the prep on the stainless. It's pretty finicky. It likes to pull a lot, and when you start to weld, you have to keep it going. If you sit somewhere too long, it won't be nice and blue like that. It'll be gray, nasty looking. Won't look pretty. Won't do its job very well. And another thing I like to do is when I weld anything near a flange, we're gonna have to weld here and there. I always like to put the flange up against whatever it's gonna be against. So in this case, it's gonna be the turbine housing. And the turbine housing kind of act like a little heat sink, if you will. It'll kind of pull some of the heat out, and it'll keep this flange nice and straight. So whatever angle you end up clocking this, it'll seal like it's supposed to. And we'll do the same thing with this end. We'll take the manifold off the car and V-band that onto the manifold, and then we'll weld all the way around. And this, like I told you before, this flange doesn't have a self-centering lip on it like some V-bands do. So I added this little, if you can see it, but just a little metal strip. I put 3 of them on there. You got one there, one there. So that way, when you put it onto the manifold, it'll be the same every time. So I'm gonna, another thing we're gonna do is back purge. Got my little extra tank of argon there. I've got a little hose. You know, usually run about 10 CFH, 5 CFH. Usually I would be using this. It's it can endure a lot of heat, but it's only a 2.5, so I won't be able to use it on this project. I thought I had what I needed, but I don't. So I'll just do it the old-fashioned way. Tape it up here, tape it up there, tape it up on the back side, and we'll plumb it in one end, and just put a little bitty hole so the oxygen will come out, and all of our welds will be nice and shiny. Instead of, this is that little adapter, or not adapter, but special tool I made to hammer out this pipe here, make it more round. But you can see, like, the welds are nice and shiny on this side, but then once you get in there, they're kind of gray and nasty and sugary, and that's what happens when you don't back purge on stainless. And those little things, they can get big enough, they'll break off and get into your turbine, and you don't want that. So just back purge everything if you're going to do stainless. Let's get after it. Alright, got some stainless 308L, I believe. Yep, 308L. Can you hear it coming out of there? All pretty colors. All right, now we're gonna get this end ready. So we'll probably get the, well, we'll get the manifold off the car, V-band it onto there, and we'll weld that, and then this will be done. Other than, I guess we need to weld this on there too. So let's kill the gas. Okay, got this all nice and welded up all the way around everywhere. I've already got my mark made to cut out for the wastegate flange. We're just going to do like a rough cut. We'll probably go in about 1/4 of an inch inside of this mark. We'll just do a rough cut. And we can do, you can use a die grinder or file or whatever to clean it off, make it nice and smooth. Here goes nothing. Clean. got a hole. Should fit nice and perfect on there. Weld around there. Oh yeah, it's gonna look good. Time to clean up. Clean this dross off anyways. Let that thing cool down. That's hot. Woo! Alright, it's all welded up. Well, short hot side pipe anyways. Got the little wastegate on there, the merge. And then the wastegate. I had to give it a little bit of an angle because it was getting really close to the fan. So it took a couple tries, but got her. Got pretty darn good. Now I got to work on the Maven mount. Figure out where I'm going to hook it up to. Probably make a plate that goes onto here and just a little short tube. I'll run over to where the Maven mount's going to be. Up under here. That looks good, nice and tucked. Right, my next dilemma. So, the pressure housing is going to be sitting on there like that. And it's going to be facing down, kind of right in the middle. I've already cut this off, the little piece that was making the 90. And we need to attach this to there. So this is 3.5. This connector is 4-inch. So I'm hoping here's some 3.5-inch pipe, and got another one of these centering cones for a balancer. Got it. I'm gonna stick it in there and use the vise. Push down right here, hoping it'll spread that out enough to fit the adapter right there. The adapter. Let's see what happens. I hope this works. Get the camera up in there. Guess we gotta shut it off first to close the valve. Well, that looks like about a 1/2 inch on both sides. See how it fits in that fitting. If it does fit in the fitting. Oh, heck yes. Just need to sand it down just a little bit. I can't believe that worked. That's awesome. It's worked out unbelievably well. Just gave it a nice slice. And now this will fit into here. And then that will get welded onto there. That's crazy. Nice. Nice. Is it nice? You gotta say more than no, you gotta say more than that. God dang it.
Yes, it's nice.
Woo! So I made this turbo mount and I completely forgot to tape anything. So I'll just give you the finished product. Piece of 1/4 inch strap. Hole, mounted it. This is 1 1/4 inch chromoly. Gave it a little bend. And we just welded on a straight piece off the Maven mount. Because that angle, I couldn't make that angle, you know, curve that way and I curve back, so just a straight piece. We capped off the end of it and then welded it right to the straight. So that works pretty nice. The other side of the mount. I'll raise it up and get a bottom shot. Alright, there's the bottom shot. This bolts right in the bottom of the turbo. Nice smooth little bend right up to the head. And we got this all welded on. Turned out pretty good. Move my light so I can see it. It's a little bright, but it's coming straight down. We got quite a bit of movement there, or flex, or not flex, but you know, in and out. Once the O-rings are on there, it'll be a lot tighter, but that'll give us some movement for when the engine's moving and running. We got a solid V-band, obviously on the intercooler, but and as you can see, I've already started on the intercooler piping. So that'll be getting done pretty soon. We're gonna have to do a couple pie cuts here. So I've already got these pie cuts made or cut. Got them all deburred and everything. I'll show you how I do it. I don't know if it's right or not, but it seems to work for me. So I'll get a piece of tubing. This is 4-inch, so make a 2-inch line, or you know, basically a line on each side of this. And then so we made 4 pieces, and I just divide 90 degrees by 4, which is 22.5, and so see if I can get this to hold so I can show you. So from here, this angle here is 22.5. To make just this angle, you need 11.25 degrees, right? So that's what I got this degree at, 11.25. And depending on how tight you want your radius, is how big you make these cuts. I wanted a really tight radius, so I made, you know, these are really short here. So, you know, if you make it longer, then it's going to be a longer radius. And you can even cut different size pieces too, you know. You can do I can't remember what the other one is. I think divide by 6, then you know, it'll be 6 pieces, but there'll be a lot more welding. But it'll still look good. But basically, so I'd make my cut, loosen up the clamp, split this to my other line, get it right up to the top, push it all the way against my stop here, got the stop, that way each piece is perfectly cut, and then cut it. And then you come out with a bunch of pieces. Another good thing about the drawing is the lines you make, you line your lines up, lines up like that. It'll be a perfect 90 degree. See if I can hold these. I am failing miserably. Got that on there. Oh, I'm gonna get it. Nope, nope. Off this out. Here. Perfect 90. And it's a tight radius. Just what we need. So, that's how I cut them. I don't know if it's right, but it works. Well, I'm going to end this one. Oh, dang, scruffy boy. I need to shave. Anyways, I'm going to end this one off here. I got plenty of content. I kind of get carried away. I don't really pay attention to my timing. But on my next video, I'll probably have at least half the charge pipes done. And then we can start on the down pipe going out the bumper. And I'll probably have this done. Should have it done by next time. have that charge pipe coming off the compressor all done. So till next time, please like and subscribe, all that stuff. We'll see you later, boys and girls.